Hello committee, this is Petr Krejček, and I hope you guys had a little bit of time to review my proposal for the possible fundraiser for the Shumadia Folklore Dance Group. I just want to begin and just explain a little more about the dance group and why the fundraising is needed. The dance group is comprised of a bunch of younger dancers who partake in a particular dance that is indigenous to the Serbian people and has been around for 200 years. And the importance of this is they're a dance group that travels around the country and requires a lot of funds in order for them to survive. And it really brings the youth in the Serbian community together and to understand their heritage and everything that they deal with. The basis of the fundraiser is it can be replicated in any way, shape, or form because this specific fundraiser requires a lot of volunteers as we look to keep our costs low in order to make the biggest benefit. So we take people from the community, parents, and everybody from the fundraiser in order to help, in order to make everything as cheap as possible. And it can be replicated for anybody who is a part of a small organization that doesn't need to raise too much money and has a lot of support and backing behind them. To start the basis of my report, I looked at a similar fundraiser that a local Milwaukee group uses in order to fund some of their endeavors as well. And I looked at Bastille Days. And Bastille Day is comprised of like two parts I would consider it. The first part is a 5K run, and then but in order to describe Bastille Days a little more, it's a very popular French festival that and is actually one of the largest French festivals in all of North America. And it is hosted in downtown Milwaukee in Cathedral Square. And to start the days off, the festival off, they have a 5K run. And basically, East Town Association is a nonprofit organization that really runs this, and their mission statement was really to enhance the neighborhood image and preserve and celebrate the rich heritage and back to local community people. And they do a great job of that. So that is why we specifically wanted to look at them. And a few things about the fundraiser is they have a $25 registration fee for the 5K run. Includes a running bib, you get a long sleeve t-shirt that is shipped to your door. Runners choose their own course, and after the festival, it goes on for 3 days. And continuing with the run, they have over 100 runners, and they host the large event, and they have over 250,000 people coming to their event every year. Like I said, the reason the event is very successful is because they get 250,000 people to visit, and they really dip into the community around them and have everybody come support the French theme. And one really cool thing that they really have is they have a little Eiffel Tower in the middle of the Cathedral Square to make it really feel like you're in France. And one of the reasons why I decided to really look at this one as Bastille Day as research for our own folklore dance group fundraiser is because of the cultural similarities. That one is really promoting the French culture and is trying to get people from around the Milwaukee area of all different races, cultures together in order to celebrate the French culture and ultimately raise money for a good cause. And but looking into that, there's some positives and negatives to take out of what Bastille Days does, and we really wanted to analyze those things in order to make it better for our own fundraiser. And one of the positive things they do, like I said before, is they really bring everybody in the community together to really promote the French culture. And that is a similarity with ours because we're promoting the Serbian culture in our fundraiser. But some of the negative things that come along with the Bastille Days festival and 5K run is all the expenses that they come across. renting out the land in downtown Milwaukee is very expensive, and having all the employees to run everything for 3 days, the expenses really goes high. And another negative thing is the amount of liability that they have. Having such a large event, you can't really control everything, and that becomes a problem because you have more risk of lawsuits and everything like that. And that is one of the big reasons why we analyze this event. Alright, looking into the event that we want to host for the Shmodia Folklore Dance Group, the fundraisers specifically, is well, basically, the Shmodia Folklore Dance Group is very connected with the St. Sava Serbian Orthodox Church in the cultural cathedral that we have going on there. So all events and facilities will most likely be handled there, as it is a event promoting a Serbian dance group, so we kind of want to keep it in-house. But the specific things of the event are that it's a girls' night event. So that means only females can attend. It can be people from the area, as in the normal Serbian people, but also tapping in to the people in the Milwaukee area, such as Bastille Vezas, is a very important aspect of it, and that is where in the hall there is where the event will be hosted. Some of the main details of the girls' night event will be a $50 entry fee for adults and $25 for children. The hall holds up to 250 people. There's a raffle for expensive handbags and other prizes. It'll be hosted a Saturday night from 7 p.m. to 12 p.m. Finger foods available for all guests. 3 alcoholic beverages per guest per night. If you exceed that, everything after 3, it will have to be paid for. Gifts for guests at the end of the night. All foods and beverages will be donated. All raffle prizes will be donated. $40 entry for all non-Serbian guests. Donation box available for anybody who kind of wants to make an extra donation to the dance group. And then the event will be organized and ran by all volunteer members. And one of the biggest ways that this event will try to make money is through our raffle. It will be one of the biggest revenue sources for the fundraiser, and it will include expensive items such as Louis Vuitton handbags, Coach handbags, Cheesecake Factory gift cards, any form of gift cards, and anything else that people in the general public are willing to donate to the event. And this is all to increase profits, as we don't have to spend too much money for that. And each raffle ticket will cost $5 in order to put into a jar where it'll be picked at the end of the night. For the entrance, this will be our largest source of revenue for the event. There's a large Serbian community in the area as well, so we're hoping to fill up most of the 250 person capacity with that. But we also want to tap into the Milwaukee residents to make sure we really fill up those 250 maximum capacity. But we're hoping for at least 200 people. At $50 a person to enter the event, like I said, that's pretty huge for the revenue part of it. And kids will be welcome because it is a family event. We want to make sure everybody's welcome. And when the kids get together, maybe they see what the fundraiser is about, and then they can also join in at a later date. Some of the costs, there won't be many costs actually, because the food, beverages, and raffle prizes and the people working will all be donated, and the volunteers will all be working for nothing as well. And then I'll highlight the later expenses when we look at the overview sheet. The final thoughts of kind of this proposal is that we want to keep our expenses as low as possible. That is the main goal for this. and we'll do really well if we do that. We gotta make sure that everything is donated and all the workers are volunteer to keep the costs as low as possible, and that is very key to our success. Another key, the most important key to success also as well, and also just for the benefit of the community as well, is to really reach out into the Milwaukee community for the non-Serbian people. And this will be important for the board members of the Šumadija Folklore Dance Group to really go out there and reach out into the public and get these people to come in and support our event and enjoy the Serbian culture. Some of the looking at Bastille Days, some of the positive things that we took out of it that we really wanted to put into this that I think is going to make it a real big success is to just make sure everybody's included, make sure everybody's welcome, and bring the community along with the experience into a different culture. And some of the negatives that we looked at that we're trying to make it better for our own fundraising event is to keep costs as low as possible. Like I said multiple times before, Bastille Days doesn't do a good job of that, but researching into their organization and their fundraising technique, really wanted to change that, and also wanted to keep liability as low as possible, meaning that the smaller our event is, the more control we have in looking at the people who are there. So such things as drunk driving, spills on the floor, underage drinking. Because it's a smaller event, we'll be able to keep track of it and make sure it doesn't happen. And if this plan is followed correctly, it'll be sure to show how to operate a successful girls' night fundraiser for the Šumadija Folklore Dance Group. And I believe it will be very successful if we do all these things. Lastly, what I kind of want to talk about is the overall expenses of the whole fundraiser. And expenses aren't really much. The rent, after talking with Saint Saba Cathedral, they're going to charge $1,200 to rent the place out for the night. And then that with, we put some estimated unexpected expenses in there as $300. So the total estimated expenses would be around $1,500 for this entire fundraiser event. The revenues, number one revenue is the ticket sales. We're estimating there are going to be 220 people there. We average out the ticket per guest based on $25 a kid, $50 for Serbian adults, and $40 for all non-American. Looking at the percentages of who's going to show up, we average out $40 a ticket, and so the total estimated ticket sales revenue would be around $8,800. Next to the raffle sales, the price of the ticket of the raffle is $5, as I mentioned earlier. The estimated number of raffle ticket purchases will be around 400, so leaving the estimated raffle sales at $2,000. And the last thing is, like we said, we put a donation box, and the estimated donations for the night would be around $2,000, leaving the total estimated revenue for the night at $12,800. Overview, the total estimated revenue being at $12,800, and the total estimated expenses being at $1,500. The estimated total profit for this fundraising event will be $11,300, which will be a big help in helping the Šumadija Folklore Dance Group. And so thank you for listening to my proposal. I hope you guys really take it seriously and understand that this is the best route for us to take in order to make the most successful fundraising event possible. Thank you.